A drop-dead, gorgeous blonde at the club says to Temba, "How about free drinks all night in return for a night with me?" "Are you sure?" said Temba. "Why, yes, of course I am," the blonde responded. "Well, because, you see," Temba said, "I can drink a lot of whiskey, you know." Get it? I'm sure you missed it. Happy New Year and compliments of the new season. We hope that you survived the horrible 2020 that's just behind us and wish you a great 2021 ahead. There is absolutely no doubt that last year was hard morally, spiritually, physically, and financially to almost all of us. I do not believe there is any one of us who was not touched horribly by 2020. We know somebody who passed on, whether a family member or a friend. And to all of us and to all of you, I pass on my condolences. Here's hoping that the worst is behind us. But for now, please continue to observe social distancing, wearing your mask, and washing or sanitizing those hands. It is the least you can do for yourself and for others. Good evening, and welcome to Fame and Fortune, the very first one of the year on Talk with Rams Live. I have missed this educational segment where we share in the wisdom of someone we love and revere and learn about their relationship with money. Like all Mondays, tonight we found yet another important South African to bring them to you so that they can tell us their relationship with money. We are live on Facebook as usual and YouTube as Talk with Rams. And we are also on Instagram, but on Instagram, of course, you only get to see my ugly face and not the guest. So if you want to see the both of us, you go on YouTube. That's a trick. We put you on Instagram so that we force you onto YouTube and subscribe to the page. Please note that it is very kind of you if you subscribe to the page, if you follow us on Facebook and like us on Instagram, or follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook. One of those. We're going to go on Telegram soon, seeing that everybody's doing everything now, maybe even going to WhatsApp before they take all our details. You can obviously also reach us on WhatsApp. Voice notes only 0672718239. Only voice notes. Please participate in this conversation by sending questions and comments on all the platforms, including on Twitter. And on Twitter, we are Talk with Rams 1. Now then, listen to this. 1991, 1992, she did On the Beat, music program presenter. Can you believe it? Pop TV. I don't even know, some of you were born then. 1995, Kiss of Milk. She played lead role in this Akin Omotosho film. You know Akin, guys. You know Akin. Please tell me you know Akin. That would be criminal if you don't. In 2004, she did Rifle Road, another Akin Omotosho film. Isidingo 2006, she played Adele. She played Michelle in Nomzamo 2006, 2000, and 2008. She came there twice onto that platform. Josie H, she played Jackie on ETV in 2007. 2007 again, Justice for All. She played Sandra, a prosecuting lawyer. 2008, Ubizo played part of Maya, that was on SABC 1. She was also a face of an ad, budget insurance advert. She was lead presenter, SABC 1, 2, and 3 for 5 years. And most recently, Men on the Ground 2012, playing supporting role of Nadia in another Akin Omotosho's film. There is something about her in Akin, I must find out. So, I don't know whether she's British or South African or Lesotho, but I think she's just a amazing human being, stage, television, and movie actress, singer, Mandisa Bardill. But she's more than that. She's also a producer and an event manager. And she's our guest tonight. Hello, Disa.
What's up? Thank you for having me, Rams. Nice to meet you.
Wow, and Happy New Year to you.
Yes. What a year. Happy New Year to you. Let's hope there's more happy moments than anything else.
It has to get better. At some point, it will get better. It can't go on like this. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What an accomplished CV. You've been there. You've done it all. I mean, I haven't read the part of what you do on stage. I mean, this is just TV and film. I haven't even done theater production. You've just done it all.
No, I always say, certainly the first half of my career, I was very, very blessed. When it just feels like everything that you dreamed of as a child is just coming to fruition. And that's how that first half of my life really, really was. From secondary school, I knew I wanted to be an actress. I did well at secondary school, and then I was just on a roll from there, as you say, till about. In fact, the most recent movie I did was Tell Me Sweet Something, which was after Man on Ground.
Another Akin.
Also an Akin Motosho film. He just knows a good thing when he sees it, There's nothing more to it than that.
Doesn't it just? I by the way, I love Tell Me Sweet Something. I think that it was sublime. It was an amazing production.
Yeah, it was a beautiful movie. It was.
Yeah, but you see, it was a while ago, and I swear to God, if I met you yesterday, I would have battled a bit and said, where do I know her from? Where do I know her from? When people meet and they ask you, who are you? Because they want to remember where they know you from. What do you tell them?
A lot of people in South Africa remember me from Nomzamo because they'll say to me, oh, Nomzamo. And I'll be like, well, I actually have no clue. I haven't seen her since 2008, but that is the one that people connect me with here in South Africa, is the crazy best friend in Nomzamo, Michelle. Because I think that character is also very close to who I am as a person. So when they see me, hey, Michelle, they call me Michelle. They shout out Michelle when they see me.
and if I asked you that question that we sometimes don't like to answer, but we get asked all the time, what do you do for a living? If somebody asks you that question, what's your answer?
Well, if I was to look at what I'm doing now, I am designing clothing. I am working on my own musical career. I am doing some PR for up-and-coming artists because I have a huge passion for talent in J, but I tend to veer towards up-and-coming emerging artists. I don't know why, but I just have a strong affiliation and love for them. Those are the three main things I'm doing now. I was running the Sun Arena venue until COVID came along and took over all our lives. And of course, the venue was shut, and it's still shut. So for the last, I guess it'll be a year in about April, I've had to think out the box about what it is I can do given the situation. So yeah, I love clothing as well. People are always commenting on how I look. So there were a couple of things that I used to wear that people used to say, oh, girl, where'd you get that from? So I was like, you know what, I'm going to make them. Yeah. And I started a little label called Roma Girl because I was born in Roma, Lesotho. So the label is called Roma Girl, and it's doing really well. Thank the Lord. My jumpsuits are flying off the shelves.
So you've almost answered my next question, which would be, do you make enough in what you do?
Enough money?
Of course.
This is a talk about fame and fortune after all. No. My honest answer would be no. Not at the moment. I'm not where I want to be. Definitely not.
Is that not a human answer, though? Don't we always feel that we don't make enough, even when we are?
I don't know. I've never been stinking rich. I don't know if I'm stinking. If you ask me this question in a few years when I'm stinking rich, I'm not sure what the answer will be.
Thank you very much for that commitment, because I want us to talk in a few years when you are stinking rich. That's great. Thank you. You've already committed. It's public. It's out there. You can't say no when I call you again.
But then you also have to join me, tit for tat. You're also going to be really, really wealthy, right? Unless you already are, and I don't know. I must check your net worth with people.
Not at all. But you know what I'm lucky about is that because of so many people that I talk to, I know one of them, and I hope it's you, will lift me up as they rise so that I also get to that level.
That is the way. That is the way. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So in the little that you make that is never enough, do you save any of it?
Oh, Rams, you're asking some serious questions here, hey? Ooh, but you know, I choose to be honest. I'm not a good saver. It's me and my 2 kids, and you know, pretty much what I make goes into the 2 of them and sustaining them and making sure that they can have the best lives possible. So, especially now, it's just tough right now. Maybe a few years ago, I would have answered that differently. But for now, I'm struggling with the saving thing. And maybe you can give me some tips around how to do it, even during a pandemic.
Well, you know, we introducing, and I'm sad that it didn't start today, we're introducing our financial coach as part of this show, so that at the end of my conversation with you, she joins in, it becomes a 3-way conversation, and then she gives tips on how to save. So we're going to get there. Don't worry, we'll do it again with you and her. She's joining us from next week.
That's great.
So, Disa, in your view, are the concepts of fame and fortune related?
Not necessarily. For me, fame is a very overrated, shallow thing. For me, this is just for Mandisa. For some people, it's everything, right? I'm one of those who likes to just do what I'm doing in the background. The fortune part, I pray for every day. And again, fortune is different for different people. You know, I have things that I want to achieve, which equate to fortune before I die. You know, I'd like to own property. I'd like to travel the world. There's different things that I'd like to do with that fortune. I'd like to help. I'd like to serve. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about the glitz and the glamour and the fame and the celebrity. That's just not who Mandisa is. But yeah, for some people, they are obviously intrinsically linked.
Okay.
But you know, you can have fortune and nobody needs to know about it.
True that. And I think that's always the best form of fortune, if nobody gets to know about it. So let's trace back. I mean, I said that, you know, your stepping onto stage was on the beat in 1991, 92. I don't know if there would have been anything before then, but if we trace it back to then up to today, so the day you broke onto the scene and we got to know about you and you did all these things that you've done, have you ever been broke between that time and now?
Again, we're talking financially. Of course I have.
Of course.
I have. Of course
Not heartbroken. I'll leave that to the tabloids. I'm talking finance.
Yeah, absolutely. Several times. Several times. And I'm blessed that I've always had a very strong support system who, when I reach that point, they step in and they support. But also those points just teach you resilience, and they teach you about looking at things differently and never ever giving up, and always finding a solution. I always tell my kids, guys, there's a solution for every problem. You just need to sit and breathe for a moment and you will see the solution. There's never ever a reason to give up and throw in the towel, even if you are stone broke.
Never. I like that.
Yeah.
I had a deputy principal at high school. And yes, folks, I did go to high school. I didn't do much there, but I went. And when it was his assembly, because they rotated assembly, he always finished his assembly talk with these words, and I think they're Latin: nil desperandum. Never despair and never give up. I don't forget it. This is a long time ago, in the 80s.
Nil desperandum. Desperandum.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
One of those phrases that will last for forever and ever. Has weight forever and ever.
So, in spite of our problems as human beings, we may have all sorts of financial problems we can think about. But we also, alongside that, all of us, and I mean all of us, have some extravagance. It could be one. What is yours?
What is my extravagance? Wow, Rams, that's a good one. Joe, the fact that I can't answer it is actually really terrible.
Well, it could mean that you don't have an extravagance, which is a great thing, because extravagances are our weaknesses, aren't they?
I don't know. I think it's just all part of life's experience. Have an extravagance. Yeah. What's yours? Do you have one?
Golf.
That might inspire me. Golf is yours.
I don't care how tough times are. I will find money to go on the golf course and play.
I just think that I've just somehow along the line, I've just become a very selfless person. So I'm always doing for others and not for me. And this is a really good time for me to actually sit and reflect on what my extravagances are. Gee, I actually do not have any. I don't go do my nails regularly. I don't go wax regularly. I don't go for massages regularly. I don't spoil myself with champagne regularly. Wow. Thank you.
I am glad you don't pour yourself with champagne, because that image has been corrupted a bit. So let's stay away from that one. I'm glad you don't do that. And sushi too. So let's move on. Let's move on.
A long time ago. Yeah, let's move on.
So I know you've answered the financial question, but let's talk about the showbiz part. The fact that you have been there and you've done work since 1991. Would you say, when you look back on what you've done all these years, would you say you've made it? Forget about the money. Would you say you have made it? You had a dream about being an actress as a kid. You look back now, have you made it?
I think there was a point in my life where I felt like I'd made it. I ticked some really big boxes. When I went overseas to perform on the West End, for me, that was like making it. For any actress in the world to perform in a West End show is like, it's like performing in Broadway in the States. It's a make it moment, And then when a South African show that I was starring in called Cat and the Kings won a Laurence Olivier Award, that was another wow, I've made it moment, But that's like winning a Grammy or it's the equivalent of a Grammy, or an Emmy.
Yeah.
So, I've had some made it moments, Nomzamo was a made it moment for me because we became household names, and I loved the production, and I felt like it was a quality production, and we were all very, very upset when they pulled it, and to this day, people are like, is it coming back? Is it coming back? And I mean, it finished in 2008. It's like 12 years ago. So there was impact. So those kinds of things, and being hired to run the Sun Arena, an 8,500 seater venue in Pretoria, those kinds of things affirm you and say, you know what, babes, there's something about you.
I agree. So from a showbiz point of view, if there's one thing that you'd like to do that if you did, you'd sit there in that corner with your own champagne, nobody watching you, not pouring it on yourself, but say, yes, I've made it. What is that one thing that you'd like to achieve that would make you feel, I have made it?
I'd like to definitely do more film, and I'd like to be featured. Most of the films that I've been in over the years, I'm playing a supporting role, which is absolutely fine because there are no small roles. But I'd like to have a really nice, meaty, juicy role made just for me. I believe actors have those juicy roles that are made just for them. You know what I mean? We could have examples like Ray Charles. There's certain movies that are just made for the actor.
Yeah.
Who played, it was Jamie Foxx who played Ray Charles, remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Denzel Washington has had his movies that were made just for him. Shawshank Redemption. There's just so many we could talk about. I'd love to have my movie. I don't know what it is, and I hope that I and the beautiful thing about acting is I could get it when I'm 50 something. I think Morgan Freeman had his when he was 50 something. There's no age limit to it. I'd also love to sing with a beautiful band in some of the nicest venues in the world. And just sing my heart out. I've been singing, but I've never taken the plunge to do it just as me. I've always done it as part of an ensemble because I love singing with others and I love harmonies, but I've always been afraid of doing it on my own as Mandisa or as Disa. So that would be another moment for me that would just seal the deal.
It's going to happen.
So let's do it, right? Let's do it when we come back next time.
I've got a script that somebody must say, okay, it's a book. The manuscript is going to be a book. Somebody's going to turn it into film. And guess what? They're going to cast you as that main character I've created. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You see how the universe works.
It's going to happen. So tell me, if you had a moment with peers, people in the showbiz industry, and you had to share with them one piece of advice about fame and fortune, or at least about how to take care of their fortune while they're famous, what would you say to them?
I'd say be really clear about what your goals are, first and foremost. Do what it is you have to do to attain those goals, and try as much as possible not to be veered left and right and focus on what other people are doing. You know, with all this social media that we have around us, constantly swiping and seeing what other people are doing, it can derail you, and it can actually make you feel like you're not doing something right and you should be doing that. No. Spend more of that time swiping, focusing on yourself, growing yourself, having difficult conversations with yourself, surrounding yourself with people you admire who are doing great things out there. And just focus on that and work hard. And the money that you make from that will surely come. And when it comes, have a plan around what you want to do with it as well. Don't be going out there buying Ferraris. Well, I guess at the end of the day, if that's what you want to do with your money, who are we to say you shouldn't, right? But there's just something about, you know, sustaining yourself for the rest of your life with your money and not blowing it all in, because it can go. We've seen situations where people have lost their millions just like that after working so hard to accumulate them. Yeah. So be smart and associate yourself with smart people, especially financially smart people who can help you. And it takes a lot of self-discipline, doesn't it, Rams? A lot.
It does. Yeah. And a lot of financial education, you know, which is part of what we want to do with, you know, fame and fortune. We want it not only to be a conversation with people that we celebrate, but also to be a financial education platform, so that we then leave everybody with us with something. When we say good night, they can take something within a lesson that they could make them better tomorrow. So we're going to introduce that part of. And besides, this conversation already, with or without a financial planner, I can tell you that the nuggets that you've shared, people are going to appreciate for a long time to come. In fact, before I ask you my last question, let me read some of the comments that have come through. They're very generic, one or two at you, but, you know, Angel Nkosi says, good evening, welcome back, Happy New Year. Sipati says, compliments, Sirlo. Good evening, family. Khomotso says, Disa is so warm. Isn't she just? Yes, Khomotso, she is. Lomato says, good evening. There is a comment I'm going to read slightly later. It fascinates me. Khomotso also says, Happy New Year, everyone. Good to be back. Evening, Rams. Happy New Year. As you know, this is a fair show, so people are happy to be back. We've been off for a month, also resting. I understood something very interesting based on how you responded about what you would also teach your children. She says, that's why we need to do more, because we want to protect our kids and let them worry about doing well, not mama hana chelet. Beautiful. I like that. And it's part of what we work for, really, is that for not for our kids not to walk the road that we have walked, that their road is much lighter than ours. That's what we work for. So 2 last comments before I come back to my final question for you. This one fascinates me. Enoch Sukhupedi Moachi, who is watching us on Facebook Live, asks, are you on Metro FM? What? Enoch, you're watching me here? Clearly you would know. But anyway, thank you, Enoch. No, I left Metro in March 2019, Enoch. It's been 2 years now. And one final comment. Pumzile Mope says, I'm so looking forward to the day when you publish your book, Rams. But don't worry, Pumzile is a praise singer of mine. She's like one of those that she's a cheerleader. Your number one fan. I could fall on the streets. Pumzile would say, that's a big fall. She likes me. Thank you very much.
We love Pumzi.
I'm going to do it for you. So here's my last question to you, Disa. Again, since 1991 to the last project that you did, you earned a bit of money. Doesn't matter what you did with it. We all make money, we lose it, we gain it, we spend it, doesn't matter. But cumulatively, the invoices that you've issued, would you say you've managed to clock up just about 1 million US dollars?
US dollars.
It's only
What's that, 70 at the moment?
15.5 million rand. It's not a lot of money.
Jojo. On the way. I wouldn't say there yet, but on the way, yes.
It's going to happen soon. In fact, you're going to make the full $1 million without even counting what you've done in the past. It's happening soon.
Definitely. That's how we need to talk to ourselves every single day. And the mind will always try and distract you. And my advice to people would be just see those voices in your mind as clouds that just pass by. Don't hold on to them. Just let them pass by because they are going to. There's nothing you can do to stop them. But speak positively to yourself every single day. Even if it feels like you're lying to yourself, it's okay. I will make those millions. I will have fortune. I will be successful every day.
See, those are the words to finish with. Mandisa, Bardill. In fact, your words would have been great to finish with, but I'd like to finish with the words of Thabo Khezi, who just posted. Dumela, you have represented Africa well, you being from Kaharanaha. The movie title could be Romanna, with the emphasis on Roma. Oh, very smart, Thabo. I keep good friends. Excellent.
I love it.
Romanna, I love it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your work, especially. And I wish you produce more and more of your work as we celebrate your life. And hopefully, you get that fortune, because that's more important than the fame.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And if I'm allowed to just plug myself just a little bit, I've literally just released my first single during lockdown called Shine. Wow. And the lyrics to Shine are pretty much everything you and I have been speaking about tonight around just stepping out and doing your thing. So anybody who'd like to check it out on YouTube or iTunes or wherever, just search for Shine by Disa. Have a listen. Let me know what you think. That goes for you too, Rams. Okay, when you're driving home tonight. Shine by Disa.
I'm going to find an excuse to play it on this platform. Of course, with the permission of Freddie. I don't run the platform. He runs the platform. We're going to try and find an excuse to play it someday, some way. But excellent. Well done on that. And on that note, thank you very much. And good night to you.
Good night to you too. Thank you so much.
Wonderful meeting you. And folks, tomorrow, Dr. Thando Sibanda is back with Opportunity Tuesday, and is going to motivate us into this new year so that you will remember that for merely passing 2020, you got what it takes to make it in 2021. So join us tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m., right here on Opportunity Tuesday. And from me, and Frederick Mabizela, he's back. He's still running this show. So from the both of us, good night and God bless.